Welcome to another UCL Fantasy video. This is the team selection out of Matchday 10. Not too much recovery time from Matchday 9. It was a pretty poor week from me. I'm going to recap how Matchday 9 went, the mistakes I made, and then looking ahead to Matchday 10 and my free proposed transfer. Remember, we have free transfers heading into Matchday 10. It's kind of the same thing. Going into the second leg of each stage, we get free transfers, and then going into the first leg of each stage, so the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and also the final, we get 5 free transfers. So let's get straight into it. I scored 54 points in Matchday 9, and the main problem was not having Benzema. And throughout the week, I talked about getting him in for my team selection, but I also made some good decisions. Despite the fact that I didn't go for Benzema, I did go for Luis Diaz, and I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm also pretty happy with some of my other transfers like Robertson and Fabinho. But the main problem was getting Muller instead of Benzema, who scored yet another hat-trick, and he's now one of 4 players to score back-to-back hat-tricks in the Champions League. And of course, Messi and Ronaldo are in that list. But going through it one by one, Edison with a clean sheet. He got a mind-boggling yellow card, which I still can't understand how he got, because he was basically pointing out what Marcus Cunha was doing with his antics. But there we go. He got the yellow card, and so be it. Laporte got 8 points, so very happy with him. It was very good cover for João Cancelo, who I believe also got around 7 points. But I still want to get the Portuguese fullback. He also showed his class in that game against Liverpool with that assist. Thiago Silva and Rudiger, 4 points combined. Thiago Silva still getting those ball recoveries, but Rudiger, an absolute disaster class for him. And Real Madrid completely destroyed Chelsea. But to be fair, most of it was Chelsea's doing. Some encouraging signs against Southampton in their 6-0 win. So I don't think it's completely over yet, but Real Madrid are definitely in the driving seat for that tie. Robertson with the assist, 5 points. Also Trent, though, no clean sheet and only 3 points overall. No assist, no goal. But I'm very happy to have these fullbacks for the second leg at home against Benfica. Nunez is in great form. He scored a hat-trick over the weekend, but I'd still expect or back Liverpool to be probably the most likely team to keep a clean sheet in this set of matches in Matchday 10. And apart from that, we're looking at the midfield now. Danjuma with yet another goal, and he was also, he probably should have scored another one against Bayern Munich, and Villarreal were superior, vastly superior to Bayern Munich. They should have scored 3 or 4 and put the tie to bed. Now Bayern Munich still have a really good opportunity heading into that second leg in Matchday 10, and that's where I still believe Bayern will go through, but do not discount Villarreal. As they've shown all season, they're a pretty tough team to play against. Leroy Sané with 1 point. He didn't even start the game, but over the weekend in the Bundesliga, Sané started. Bayern won 1-0, courtesy of a Lewandowski penalty. I would expect Sané to start in Matchday 10, but let's wait and see what happens. Another really big mistake for me this week was the captaincy. So I've been nailing it recently, with Mahrez, with Lewandowski's 24 points. But this time round, I captained Salah and then the following day Lewandowski. That typically is a recipe for success. Very simple, you don't overthink it, but both of them blank. But ultimately not having Benzema was very costly, and then some of you captained him, so fair play. I probably wouldn't have done that. I actually backed Muller to do better in these quarterfinals than Karim Benzema. And obviously, that's just a big mistake, and that was a poor decision. But I always wanted to get Benzema ahead of Matchday 10. That was always the plan, unless Real Madrid were pretty much down by 3 or 4 against Chelsea and were on the brink of elimination. But now that Real Madrid have a very good chance of progressing, and Benzema is just in insane form, he's probably the favourite for the Ballon d'Or right now. I think he's a must-have in everyone's team. We don't have that many strikers to choose from. Mbappe's eliminated. Haaland, these two offer sheer consistency in the Champions League this season. So other than Lewandowski, really, it's Benzema who's producing week in, week out at the moment. So I think that will definitely be a plan. I'll talk about my transfer plans very soon. And Muller blanking, he was the only one who had a good chance against Villarreal. He had a pretty good opportunity which he squandered, but then again he was stretching for it. Lewandowski captaincy, typically, once again, a recipe for success, not to be this time round. Diaz, probably my start of the week. The only one who got man of the match points, 12 overall. So very happy with him. I was sceptical. I would rather have had Jota start because I have more confidence in Jota, as he showed once again in the Premier League, scoring against City. But Diaz has been a good signing for Liverpool, one of the best January signings this season. And I just wanted to see that Liverpool lineup. Who starts between Diaz and Jota? It was Diaz, and therefore I went for him. I'd still be a bit concerned in the long term whether he's going to start every single game over Jota. That's something that remains to be seen. But pretty happy with my squad overall. Mahrez was another one that blanked, and he came off around the 60th, 70th minute mark. And then City obviously secured that win anyway against Atletico Madrid. But it's going to be tough in that second leg at the Wanda Metropolitano. So let me know what you think of my team. But definitely having no Benzema was costly, and also not nailing that captaincy. But now I'm going to show you how my team lines up without transfers, and then showing you my transfer plans at the very end. As things stand, Lewandowski is going to be my captain, and then if he blanks or doesn't do too well, Salah would then be my new captain, but that could change with my transfer plans, as I'll discuss very shortly. Remember, you can make substitutions and also change the captaincy, so have one captain on the Tuesday and then one on the Wednesday, but you cannot reverse your decision and you cannot go to someone that has already played. It has to be someone that is yet to play. So hopefully that's all clear. It's just for some of you who ask, should I captain Lewandowski or Salah? You shouldn't be thinking about this, because you can always captain one and then the other if need be. But as you can see, I'm pretty happy with my team, and I've already sorted my bench in terms of who's playing on the 13th of April. Try not to have those playing on the 12th, on the Tuesday, on your bench, because you're going to be limiting yourself and you can't bring them on later on, and you're going to lose the points forever unless you have auto substitutions and then players just don't play a single minute, which might be very unlikely in your case. But I've got Edison. I'm still happy to keep him long term, but I think in terms of the second leg, I wouldn't be surprised if Atletico Madrid scored. Their defensive approach at the Etihad obviously played into City's hands, and Atletico didn't have a single shot, but that could change heading into the second leg. I think Atletico will be a bit more adventurous and they will cause City some problems. So despite the fact that I really want Joao Cancelo, having triple City defence, even against a defensive team like Atletico Madrid, is still a bit risky, but I'm happy with Edison and Laporte nonetheless. Double Chelsea defence, this is a problem. Despite their great win against Southampton recently, I still wouldn't want to have double Chelsea defence, especially when they're on the verge of elimination against Real Madrid. But Trent and Robertson, I think they're two strong points of my team, and also having double City defence. As for my midfield, I still like Sane a lot. Mahrez is still one of my favourite City midfielders, although De Bruyne's form is outstanding in the Premier League and the Champions League. If I had enough money, I would definitely go to him, and there is a real good argument to sell Salah for Kevin De Bruyne, who is showing even better form. But Salah once again showing his class with an assist against Man City, but De Bruyne obviously is looking better right now. As I've constantly stated throughout the whole season, for me Danjuma is by far, and I mean by far, the very best player around his place and below in terms of the midfield position. So despite the fact that he's facing Bayern Munich, I'm happy to keep him and I wouldn't transfer him out. If I didn't have Danjuma, would I bring him in? That's a bit different, but if you're looking for someone around that price, look no further. Even if he only plays one game for you, he could easily go out with a bang. He's been a great player for Villarreal all season, and he's probably been one of the main reasons why I've had such a good rank. Of course, I fell out of the top 1k after a pretty poor matchday 9, but I'm still looking to rectify things, and obviously, once again, Benzema was the one that was costly. I'm happy with my front three, but we already know what move I'm looking to make up front, and that will also depend on the other transfers I make to facilitate that move for Benzema. But Fabinho, I'm quite happy with him, and his ball recoveries are insane. He's sometimes got 1 point if you check his kind of score history throughout the season, but that's because he hasn't played the full 90 minutes. So whenever he plays at least 60 minutes or more, he tends to get at least 3 points and above, because he just gets so many ball recoveries. So if you're looking for someone around 5.5 million, go for Kante, Rodri, Fabinho, etc. Although Fabinho and Rodri would be my preferences, and they offer great value. But that's my team right now. Let's talk about my transfer plans, and let me know which moves are you looking to make for your own team, and let's get straight into it. I'm looking to use all 3 transfers this week. Karim Benzema will be coming in for Müller. I've got a few doubts about this move because I think the German could do very well against Villarreal, but nonetheless, Benzema is in a league of his own at the moment with Lewandowski. In the midfield, I would get Luka Modric, and he would be coming in for Riyad Mahrez. There is the possibility to get rid of Leroy Sané instead, but I think he's going to start, and I prefer the fixture. I'm not too sure about Mahrez, despite how good he's been all season in the Champions League. Why Modric would probably be your question, because he's consistently getting 4 points and above. Even last season, he was one of the best midfielders in UCL Fantasy. He gets assists, he gets ball recoveries, and he's a bit of an all-rounder, so I'm happy to get him in. Also, more Real Madrid coverage, as I'm not really looking to get any of their defenders or even goalkeeper, because I think there's other moves with higher upside, such as Joao Cancelo coming in for Antonio Rudiger. So let me know, what do you think of these moves? I'm actually quite happy with them, and I'm fairly settled, but I'll still wait until the lineups are out on the Tuesday, so be sure to tune in for that deadline stream, and then I'll be confirming my transfers. I tend to do it very late. In terms of the captaincy with this Benzema move, I would still be quite torn between Lewandowski and Benzema, who both play on the Tuesday, so that's something I'm yet to decide. I still think I'd maybe lean towards Lewandowski due to the fixture, but it's very hard to ignore Benzema's form, so that's still a 50-50 for me. Let me know, are you team Lewandowski or team Benzema in terms of the captaincy down in the comment section below, but I still think I'd go for Salah on the second day, although his form is still quite questionable despite his assist against Manchester City. But thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, Smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you're doing really well in UCL Fantasy as well and enjoying it, which is the main thing. And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, DylanRCM. We reached 1,000 followers on both platforms recently, so thank you very much. And we can also talk there. Same with Discord, we've got a server there for UCL Fantasy, F1 Fantasy and FPL, so there's so much we can talk about, also football in general, so there's so much for you to be engaged with the community, and there are also leagues for UCL Fantasy and FPL, so check the description below and you'll find them there, and the same goes throughout the video. It was on the bottom left hand corner of your screen, so just keep enjoying the football. Good luck with UCL Fantasy Matchday 10, let's see what happens, what's in store for us in the Champions League, and I'll see you next time.